Hello everyone, good evening. Thank you so much for your likes. Just a moment, I need to check if everything is visible and if you hear me well, if you can see me well. Okay, great. Thank you so much that you are here today with me. Our today's topic is numerology and our health. We just need to wait just 1 or 2 minutes in order to start, in order to see if, in order to see how many of us are going to join us today. I will just shortly present myself. My name is Olga Twardovskaya. I'm a Russian numerologist and tarologist, and my third diploma is a psychological one. That was very long time ago. So primary I'm a psychologist, and afterwards numerological knowledge and tarological as well. So Alexia, hello, ciao, nice to meet you, nice to see you. So all we need today is just knowing your date of birth, as usual, because of course if we're dealing with numerology we work with our date of birth. So guys, what are we going to speak today? Who is joining us? Sandra, hello. We are speaking about our health according to our date of birth. And this is a quite interesting and complicated topic in my opinion, because health is not the primary thing we get when we analyze our date of birth. Health is just the consequence of dealing with our tasks throughout our life. Let's examine this sphere more in details, because I just want you now write down your date of birth. I'm taking my whiteboard and I'm taking my pen. I just want you to write down your date of birth as we do usually. Let's assume I will write today's date. This is the 1st of July 2020. I hope it's visible. So Sonia, hello, very nice to see you, very good. So we have written our date of birth. These are the numbers, these are our instruments that are given to us by the higher powers, and these are the instruments, our talents, our potentials that we can use throughout our life. So these are the most important things. But when we do any calculations, we of course use these numbers that we see, and we use different mathematical, how can I say it in English, division, multiplication, and other mathematical signs. I'm sorry for my lacking some words in English, because I'm not speaking very frequently English, so from time to time I really forget some words. So now, as you may have already got used to, we need to combine all the numbers together, so that means we need to make plus 0 plus 1 plus 0 plus 7 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0. So it will make 4, 5, 6. In total it will make 12. If your date of birth gives you more than 22, let's assume I'm calculating one, so it will be 19th of July 1985. So let's say I'll calculate this date of birth. 1 plus 9 plus 0 plus 7 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 5. So we're calculating, I have the calculator with me, 197198. This makes 40. This is the example I exactly wanted to show you. Since this number is more than 22, because we have only 22 tarot arcanes according to this system I'm working with in numerology, so we make minus 22 and we get 18. This is in the average from 1 to 22. This is what we need. Guys, if this is clear, please let me know. If you have some questions, please let me know as well, so that I can answer these questions before we continue our examining the tarot arcanes concerning our health. So now what I ask you to remember is, please remember this arcane, and the combination of these numbers. So this is 4. So I want you to know all the arcanes of your date of birth and this arcane as well. For this date of birth we have the arcane number 19, 7 and 1985 makes, just a moment, 1985 makes 23, so minus 22 it makes 1. And I want you to also to write down this arcane. All these numbers are very important. Mariella, hello, good evening. Very good to see you. If we have the date of birth, just a moment, I'm gonna remove something. If your date of birth is, let's say, 25th of September, I'm just assuming 1977, so this date is more than 22. That means that we take 22 arcanes out and we have 3, 9, and we are combining 1977. 1977. This is 24, so we make again 22 minus, and we have 2. So the arcanes of this date of birth is 3, 9 and 2. But we also need to combine all the numbers of this date of birth. So we summon up 2 plus 5 plus 9 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 and plus 7. This makes again 40, so we are happy to have 40 again. And the same 18. So I need you to write down the 3 and 4 arcanes of your date of birth. These are very important things to remember, because now we're going to examine these arcanes concerning our health. Alexia is writing 411971. Okay, Alexia, I will write down these arcanes for you so that you're aware how to do it properly. Just a moment, I'm removing something I wrote before. Okay, Alexia, I'm writing down for you. So your date of birth is 0401 1971. We're summoning up 411971. 23 minus 22, that makes 1. We are combining all the numbers of the year, it will make 18. So please write down your arcanes: 4, 1, 18 and 1 again. Mariella, 75. Okay, I will calculate just for you. Mariella, 751966. 7 plus 5, 1966. It makes 34 exactly. No, it's not 7, guys. We have calculated previously in a different system. So every numerological system is something separate. So please forget about our main number that we calculated previously. Now, Mariella, 34, 3 and 4 minus 22, it makes 12. Clemente, I am calculating for you 25 of July. So 2 plus 5 plus 7 of July plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 5. It makes 36. 36 we make minus 22. Minus 22, that makes 14. Our aim is to, how can I say it in English? I'm forgetting the words. To make the arcane system from the numbers we have in our date of birth. We need to make the arcane from the date of 25, so that means for Clemente the arcanes are 3, 7 and 22, and also 14. Please write down in the commentaries if everything is clear for now, so that we can continue. Because health is a very, very precious thing for every one of you, I'm sure. Health is something you cannot get back once it's broken. And we can never, of course, become again very young as we were in our 20s or 18s or something. So you perfectly know. Can you please tell me the number? Okay, 12, thanks. Okay, Mariella, I'm happy that everything is clear. Clemente, please write down if everything is clear for you with 4 arcanes. Guys, you need just 4 arcanes. Please write them down because they are very important. Of course, I just want you to also know that there are very, very many different deep systems of calculation our health. Because I have been consulting according to numerology for about 5 years. Sandra, it's clear, great. And I know very many cases when people come to me for a consultation to see how the disease, the already existing disease, is proceeding, and if the disease is going to proceed or if the disease is going to descend slightly, to disappear. Mariella, so my number is 12. Yes, absolutely. But be careful with this number, I will tell you afterwards. And I'm continuing my story. There is a very deep and true system of calculation how the disease works throughout our life. I will just give you some small notion about how it is, how does it look like before we continue, because I see that we have enough time for speaking about all the arcanes. So this is the calculation of how can I say, special figures that the bees make. I don't know what's the name of these figures. So it looks like this. These are the parts of our life. So our life is quite a long story, starting from our birth, from 0, and lasting to our death. And we have some periods in this way of life. These periods have every period has such a longevity, not the longevity, but the duration. So let's say X years, Y years, W years. So some of these periods last the exact amount of years, and we can calculate. So we have the numbers here. I'm just writing something. The arcanes. This is the calculation system that works very perfectly. 9, 10, 11, 12. And we have only 22 arcanes. 13, 14, 15, 16, maybe 18, 17, 20, 21. So we assume that these arcanes found their places in this system, and we can see in which period of life which disease works not better but harder for a person. And of course this is a very deep system. We also see the diagrams, and we can calculate where the disease goes up and when the disease goes down, even if it's possible to make this disease go away from us. That's why it's necessary to see in which year we are going to appear, so our life starts having these a very difficult disease, and if we are here in this point, it's impossible totally to reduce or to delete, to remove, to cure this disease at all. And there are some cases when people, according to the numerological calculations, find their life in this period, in this place, and this says that it's impossible to run away from this sphere, from this period, and disease just consumes the person. There are some cases of very heavy diseases according to this system, but also there are some cases when I'm calculating the life of a person and I see that a person is in this hard period only at 9 years old. So we can say that the whole life until 9 years old, this person is not going to receive very heavy diseases. Of course, very many things depend on our karma, because our diseases also depend on our karma, and I'm speaking about this on my personal consultations. Just the one that Sonia Martinez already had, and she is very lucky, I think. I'm hoping very much. But this story concerning our health is very, very important when we need to understand how the disease will proceed. Will it increase, or will the disease decrease or even go away? So everything is possible to see. This is a very deep system. But my aim for today is just to give you the notion, the understanding of how the arcanes of tarot work in the numerological and numerological sphere that we can just see from our date of birth, and having made just some small calculations as we have done just a minute ago. Юлия, привет, рада тебя видеть. So, guys, just you have written down your 4 arcanes of your date of birth, and now we are starting just from the beginning. I just warn you that I'm gonna look into my notes, because these diseases and illnesses in English is something unbearable. Юлечка, спасибо большое. Very happy. Sonia is writing, very happy. I've got mine. Yes, Sonia, if you have your questions, please don't hesitate to write me down, because there are some questions, I think. So guys, I'm starting with the arcane number 1, and please don't be hard on me. I will just have a look in my notes, because English diseases are very hard to remember. So, according to the tarot arcane, the magician, if you have such, if you are born at the first date of birth, if you are born in January, or if you are combining the year numbers, you have 23. That means that your arcane is the magician. Just one very important thing I didn't mention, because I was in a hurry to start speaking to you. These 4 arcanes are actually our tasks. Your tasks, as well as I have my tasks according to my date of birth. Which tasks according to these arcanes you have, you will know, of course, according to my consultation. But the trick is that when we do not fulfill our tasks, we are beaten by the higher powers according to our health. So we start having problems just because we do not fulfill our agreement. Because the date of birth we have is just the number of our agreement with the higher powers, with our soul. So we are obliged to do something that we are not learned at school, what we actually should do. But we have our soul that dictates us our way of life, our path, our destination, or something like this. So that means that if we do not fulfill at least three of our tasks, because we have 5 according to our date of birth, we start having problems with our health. So let's examine. You have your arcanes, you have already calculated. So let's see which problems we are going to have. So I was about to start with the arcane number 1, and this arcane, according to the diseases, is something like visual and auditory nerves diseases. So problems with the eyes, problems with the hearing, with the ears, or inhibition of a nervous system. So nervous system is very slow, saying in the very simple words. So everything, the magician is everything that's situated in our head. What does my number mean? Alicia, you need to examine this in my personal consultation. And please, if you have some questions, I will give you some information afterwards, after this streaming. Let's go further to the arcane, which is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is everything that is connected with fibroids, inflammation of the genitourinary system. This system is concerning with the organs of the reproduction, especially for women, because this is a woman. So normally women have these problems with the birth of the children, with the women's organs, saying it simple because very difficult words I see, and something like benign tumors. So these are these are the things that is something like cancer, but not a very dangerous form of cancer actually. Something that you cannot just remove in the operation. I hope you understand what I mean. So let's go further to the 3, the Empress. This arcane means skin and venereal diseases, severe inflammatory processes of the genitourinary system, the women's organs actually. Also, of course, there are some men bearing this arcane, so that means that problems maybe with men's organs also. And normally those diseases really demand surgical intervention. So just be careful and take just your attention towards this sphere. Also, if we go further to the arcane number 4, which is the Emperor. The Emperor is fractures, head injuries, inflammation of muscle tissue and brain mucosa. So this arcane is very dangerous in the spheres I just mentioned. Also breakages of bones, saying it myoma, I think. Yes, Mariela, yes, something like this. I'm saying that I'm very hard with this English version of these diseases, but I'm trying my best. I have just translated some diseases just for your convenience. So we're going further with the arcane number 5, which is Il Papa in Italian. In English it's Hierophant. Strong inflammatory processes of the mucosous membranes of the body, ligament injuries, thyroid disorders. Thyroid is something you have here. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it well, but this arcane is very severe when you are not going to respect people, especially men. So be careful with this. So ligament injuries is something that connects so the ties of the muscle and the bone. I think you understand what I mean. Now, going further to the arcane number 6. This is likelihood of serious heart and cardiovascular diseases, blood clots. So this arcane means actually love and heart. That means the diseases are of course connected with heart. So every type of heart disease, and of course something when you have high pressure, for example, I'm not sure about the English version. High pressure, of course, is the result of your very strong heart and emotional state. That's why please take care about your heart and about your small things that blood is entering. I'm not sure to explain it very well, but I hope you understand that the consequences of high pressure is something that we receive. In English, in Russian, it's called insult, when some small cells are destroyed in the head. Let's go further to the arcane number 7. So this arcane, if you do not fulfill your primary task, if you do not travel, at least if you do not move, gives you the problems with the damage with the musculoskeletal system. So these are actually our hands, our bones, the things that, the parts of our body that make us move actually, because this is the arcane of the movement. And injuries and fractures, and it can give also the accidents, dangerous situations with your transport, with your bicycle, for example, with your roller skates, with everything that moves you. So please, if you know that you have always problems with cars, with traveling, just be careful according to your health with the parts of your body that move you, so the legs particularly. Then we go further to the arcane number 8. If your date of birth, if your month of birth, stroke, yes, Sandra, probably yes, I'm not very good with these English names, but thank you so much. The arcane number 8 gives us problems with strong inflammatory processes of paired organs. So when we have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 parts of our lungs, 2 breasts like women have, 2 hands, 2 legs, so everything by 2. Please take care of those organs that are in pair. By the way, kidneys, if I'm not mistaken, like what we have in our back, in our system. So those organs that are in 2, if I'm not forgetting something. So these organs, even if in some big diseases, can demand even long-term outpatient treatment. So when you are in a hospital or something, just be careful, fulfill the tasks. I'm speaking about the tasks very much in the streams. Please look backwards a little bit in my streams, because I'm repeating all the same all the time about these arcanes. Now we are going further to the arcane number 9. According to the Hermit, you need to take care about inflammation of the gastrointestinal tract, so actually our stomach in total. It can give us severe poisoning of the body, inflammation of the pancreas, that will require even hospitalization. So please just take into consideration these things, and of course lead a healthy life and take care of your gastrointestinal system. Going further to the arcane number 9. The 10th date of birth, October, and the year, if you calculate it, number 10. Please be careful about your circulation of fluids inside the body, including dehydration, so lack of fluid in your body. Please take enough amount of water. Please move. Do not lead a very stuck life when you sit. Very often when you sit for a long time, just you need to move. You need to take care about formation of stagnation of lymph and blood. All you need is to move constantly to make this blood and liquid move throughout your body. Now we are going to the arcane number 11, and for those who is aware about the numeration system of the Arcanes Tarot, know that there are different types of numeration. As for me, I'm working in the French system of numeration. That was the original one, and Arthur Waite changed this system, but I'm not agree with this, so I'm working with the first one, with the French one. So according to the strength, which is 11 for me, because in numerology normally 11 is played according to this picture. These are urgent surgical intervention, incorrect diagnosis, medical errors that can happen, especially when some of you may have these arcanes in your karma. And normally this arcane is very difficult to escape. It's difficult to escape the influence of this arcane, because something can happen and you do not assume that it can demand a surgical intervention, because only afterwards, when the doctors examine something, you of course learn from the doctors that you need this surgical operation. So this is really difficult to escape, but the only trick how to escape this possibility of surgical intervention or medical error is just to fulfill this task. Please turn to the consultation. I will speak personally for you about the whole of your life. Please, if you don't want this, examine the previous webinars that I already carried out, and you will learn the significance of this arcane. So actually this is your task. Now we are going to the arcane number 12, and in the beginning I told you that this arcane is a very dangerous one, especially when we do not fulfill the task according to this arcane. So just take care about formation of tumor diseases, including cancer and oncological things. I'm not sure if the word oncology also exists in English, but cancer, I know that you understand. When I see this arcane in the karmic structure of a person, I just suggest immediately to take this not medical but numerological system to see if this disease is going to increase incredibly, like in the diagram we can see the increase of this disease, or if we see that nothing will happen in this position. Of course, we can assume that it is possible to escape very dangerous consequences according to this arcane. So just don't be very irresponsible with this arcane. If you have this date of birth, or at least the month of birth, just be careful and always make some examinations at the doctors concerning these possible problems, because this arcane is actually a psychology, and many doctors have already investigated and made their conclusions that cancer is normally appears where something wrong is with the psychology. So it's more or less a psychological thing as well. I'm not a doctor, of course, but I had my family problems connected with this arcane as well, and I know really what I'm speaking about. I lost my father, and I don't want to absolutely to lose my relatives more, so I'm really investigating. I'm examining health problems as well. I listen to many doctors, I make my own investigations according to the medical information, according to my numerological information. So just I'm warning you, I'm giving you this information for your knowledge. Now we are speaking about the arcane number 13, which is also not very pleasant one and a dangerous one, that gives serious illnesses, surgeries, removal of an organ, or even catastrophes. When I see this arcane in the karmic structure, of course it is not a very good sign, because sometimes, I just show you one example that I noticed just several time ago. I'm removing this. I just want you to show how this numerological things are played in our life, in our karma. So I calculated the karma structure, and I had the arcane number 12 in the first position. We have the structure, and I had the karmic arcane of the 13th arcane in the last position. This combination means, according to the real life, and this is of course a state of depression, a deep psychological depression. Also, this arcane is the Hanged Man, according to the picture. And I got to know that a person having this kind of karma hanged himself, and of course with the consequences of death. Just in the age that this karmic period showed me, in the age of 20 something, I'm not sure about the age, 22 or 23 years old. And this arcane showed me this depression just in this period. So you can imagine how dangerous it is and how good it is to know in advance what we need to escape actually. But we just need to fulfill our tasks. Mariela, really, in all my father's family there are genetic problems of cancer. My father died of cancer. Yes, Mariela, genetic problems are also very visible in the karmic structure. And I had not very long ago a client, she's a girl. According to the life story that she was telling me, she told me that she had genetic problems from her birth, that she is eager to have children, that actually not she is eager to have children, but her mother forces her to make children. The girl is very pretty aware of the consequences when if she gets pregnant, for example. Of course, she knows that the genetic problems may give unpredictable results. And when she was speaking all this, I already assume what kind of karma she has. I'm making the calculation according to the karmic structure. And of course, I'm having this report of the karma that really she has these genetic problems just because she was rejected by her genus, by her family in the previous life. So she did some karmic mistake in the previous life, according to which her present family structure, energetic family structure, doesn't accept her as the energetic sphere. So she cannot enter into some hole, and that's why she has these genetic problems, because genetic problems are actually energetic problems. Energetic impossibility to enter some small hole. Now guys, I was speaking about the arcane number 13, and this can give serious diseases and catastrophes and sudden death. But sudden death is not something that can happen all of a sudden. If we have the combination of, just let me show, the arcane number 7 and the arcane number 13, yes, this can give the catastrophe, what is this in English? When a car accident, car crashes, because it's the moving and death as well. But I suggest that we do not fix on this arcane, since we are not, if we fulfill our tasks of constant moving forward, it's not necessary to be afraid of this arcane. Now we're going forward to the arcane number 14, and I'm feeling already a little pressed in time, so I will continue. This arcane tells us about diseases that are very difficult to diagnose. So if you have the arcane and you are not fulfilling the task of herbal healing, that's the reason to take care of yourself. And please, those who have the arcane number 14, like the date of birth, for example, like the year or like the result of the combination of the numbers, you need to visit the doctor and to make your examination of your health quite often, just to be sure that everything is okay. Because this arcane gives us hidden problems that you will never know when they start. That's why you always need to examine yourself and to be aware when the process starts. But also, one more aspect I would like to speak about, according to this arcane, is narrowing of arteries and blood vessels. Take care about your blood vessels. Yes, this is all. And also, something can happen with your liquids, because we see liquids here as well, just for your knowledge. Now, very dangerous arcane number 15, Il Diablo, the devil. And according to this arcane, of course, we can speak about severe diseases, cancer as well, especially when this arcane lies in the karmic structure, exacerbation of chronic diseases. So that means that increasing of chronic diseases, of course, consequences after drugs and alcohol's overdosing, because this is the arcane that is pushing people to try at least once a life these alcoholic or drug stories. But if you are powerful enough to escape this story, that means that higher powers just protect you. They give you a chance to escape this story. Just be aware that you need to take care of your health as well. And also I'm speaking I'm underlining the significance of the tasks according to these arcanes. Now we are passing to the arcane number 16. Also not very pleasant story according to the health. It says injuries, operations, fractures, that means breakages, damage or removal of an organ, or disruption of the work of some organ. Disruption means the organ doesn't work properly. And this arcane is also not very pleasant. I saw very many stories when this arcane lies in the last position, as I showed you before, like in the position with the 13th arcane. And this totally means health problems with the removing of an organ. This is the real story. I had such people on my consultations that I was speaking about. So please take care of your health, and please go further with the tasks of construction and business. This is something you need to fulfill, not to be in this situation with the health. Now, arcane number 17, according to numerology, numerological meaning, it gives problems with the lungs like pneumonia, tracheitis or tracheitis, I don't know how to pronounce this properly, bronchitis, heart arrhythmia, fall from height. That means that all the types of the lung problems, and also if you're the type of the person that likes to be on height, you're climbing, for example, you're going up on the mountains, please be very, very careful, because unfulfillment of the tasks may cause this kind of problems, even falling from upstairs. If you are flying, for example, by the airplane, if you are flying with a parachute, just when you are at height, be careful, because this can cause problems. Arcane number 18, the moon. It gives severe diseases of the genitourinary system, just the system that is connected with the women's and men's organs and with the kidneys. I hope I'm pronouncing this word properly. So actually the second chakra, if you understand what I mean. And when you, for example, decide to make children, please examine yourself. If you have the 18th date of birth, examine yourself, and afterwards make the conclusion if you are capable of having children, because this is the parental arcane, the arcane of parents, of becoming parents. Now going further to the arcane number 19, which is the sun. The sun is very hot. Due to this fact, you should be very careful about acute intoxication of the body, violation of the circulation of lymph and excretory system that take the liquid away from our body. Mariela, I think the genetic factor is the most important in percentage, but if we adopt a clean style of life without cigarettes, too much sugar, too much steak, all those things we know we have to leave out. Just a moment, I'll make the wider text. Where I am to leave out. We know we have to leave out of our diet. The percentage comes down. I mean 5 portions of vegetables, some fresh fruits, small portions of carbo and meat, no alcohol, only a glass of wine during lunch and dinner. Yes, Mariela, in general you are absolutely right. You know, there are several types of genetic diseases. Actually, there are several types of all the diseases. When we speak about the genetic diseases of small children, since they are already born with this genetic improper system, it means this is the karmic story that was done already in the past life. It was already done. Just carrying a very good life, just like you wrote just a moment ago, is not enough. Because in this aspect, a person should or must lead a clean life, as you already said. A person must make very good deeds, very good acts, very positive deeds actually in life. It's not enough actually, because it's a karmic thing, and we have our life in order to clean out all the rubbish we did in the past life. If a person, like you explained, if a person having these diseases from birth will lead a good life, will make good deeds to the people, will behave very properly throughout the life, it is just a small percentage or just enough percentage of possibility to make the next life better. But in this life, he will definitely have these problems. Genetic problems are just totally karmic things. And what next? Let's assume that a person leads a very bad life, that a person likes drugs, alcohol and everything, and makes his health worse. And of course there are some deeds that this person also should make through the life, to reject the family and the genus, to say, I do not belong to this family, I do not love my family, I refuse to communicate with my family. This is the deed a person will have the consequences for, but the consequences will come in the next life. And in the next life, this person will have problems with the genetics, because the family he is going to be born in the next life will not accept this structure, because the structure starts contradicting. Mariela, and obviously the medical controls, and much important, a strong walk every day. Actually, yes, you're absolutely right if we speak about the possibilities of diseases earned in this life. But I was speaking about the things that we have from our karma, and genetic things are something not very easy to restructure or to pay for in this life. But it is possible to correct those things for our next life. This is the general idea that I was speaking about. Now let's continue. I told you about the intoxications, violation of the circulation of the lymph and excretory systems. and high temperatures. By the way, those who have the 19th date of birth or 19th arcane of the year, be careful with the temperatures. Now, this is the genetic arcane, the family. Actually, the genetic abnormalities that I was speaking about with Mariela just a moment ago return from serious diseases and karmic diseases. Mariela, I know what you mean, but we must do our best, of course. We are unable to change our genetic factor. Yes, Mariela, just absolutely to the point. Thank you so much for being so active. Thank you so much for just leading this conversation with me. You're absolutely right. Now, about the genetic problems I told you, this arcane is a rejection of our family in our past life. Now, the arcane number 21, which is the world. This means rare viruses and bacteria, foreign diseases, helminths, and giardia. Giardia, I hope you understand what I mean. And our karma, of course, yes. So actually, this means the world. So the diseases, as if from the outer part of the world, from the other part of the world. So when you travel, by the way, if you have the 21st date of birth and 21st the arcane of the year, if you travel a lot, please be careful with the different foreign diseases, different bacteria. Like if you travel to Africa, just make all the medical preventions, take all the medicals with you to prevent these types of diseases. And the last arcane, number 22. In numerology, it's not 0, it's 22. Severe vascular spasms, blood clots, exacerbation of asthma, allergies, and childish diseases, let's say, because this is the arcane of children. And also irresponsibility of our life. So please take care about, by the way, this arcane, according to the tarot system, means when a person gets mad, absolutely in the medical sense. This is the consequences of unfulfillment of our tasks of life. Guys, I have finished with my story according to numerology and diseases of numerology. I just would like to listen to your questions if you have such, because we have 10 minutes left to speak on different topics, if you would like to. And I'm eager to listen to your questions. I'm open to any communication. Please ask me something, I will eagerly answer you something. And as usually, we are going to meet every Wednesday the same time. Next time we will see each other. Let me see my diary. On the 8th of July. And we are going to speak about numerology and our children. I'm just waiting for several minutes when you write something to me, when you ask something. Gaetano, nice to see you, very good. Mariela, thanks. Olga, very good. Hello, hello. You are welcome, guys. Please give me the information if it was so nice to see you. So nice to see you too, Gaetano. Thank you for joining me on my streaming today. I'm very happy, by the way, I'm telling it every time. 27/6/1963. Good. We will calculate the 4 important arcanes for Gaetano, and afterwards please also watch the video again, because I'm giving the information what kind of disease every arcane means. So we have a good example. 27/6/1963. We need to make out 4 arcanes. The first arcane from the date 27, this means we take away 22, this means 5. This arcane remains as it was, 6. And the last arcane, we are calculating the numbers in the year. 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 3. It's 19. So 3 arcanes we have. Let's calculate the fourth arcane. 2 plus 7 plus 6 plus 9 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 3. Just give me some small second. 2 plus 7 plus 6 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 3. 34. We have 34. We take minus 22. That means 12. Yes, it's exactly what I was speaking about before. It's a dangerous thing for having. So these arcanes, please be careful with them. You have 4 of them. My birthday was last Saturday. Yes, Gaetano, I'm congratulating. I'm wishing you all the best for your belated birthday. I hope you also had a very good information for yourself. So I just wish you a very good and prosperous year with your business and with your life. So once we have calculated these arcanes for your health, just you have the video now and you can see the meaning of these arcanes, which health sphere you need to take into consideration. So this is the story. So guys, it was a very good practice for us. Now you also can calculate the dates of birth of your relatives, of your children, to see what spheres of health are necessary to be careful of. And I think that for now, for today, I'm finishing. Since you do not have any questions to me, I will be very, very happy to see you again. And again, I'm saying a very, very big thanks to Gaetano and to Bridges of Light for giving me this opportunity to open some numerological mysteries to you. And my name is Olga Twardovskaya. I'm a Russian numerologist and tarologist and psychologist. So I'm wishing you a very good evening and very good health for yourself. So we'll see each other next Wednesday at 7 o'clock Moscow time and 6 o'clock Italian time. So guys, bye bye, have a good evening.